I think I will start. And if there's somebody else is coming, then I can go back or forth also. Okay. Looks like a little bit of a private session right now. Are you still here? Okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. That's fine. It's okay. No problem. We can start.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Maybe one or the others are still coming. I don't know. Since I do not know how long the keynote is going. Anyway, I will try to start my presentation right now. And if you have questions, just unmute yourself then. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. So where are you from, basically? Did I get a feeling?
I'm originally from Cameroon, but I've been living in Austria for the past 7 years now.
Okay, and are you a student at the IMC right now?
Yeah, I'm a student.
Which class?
Medical and pharmaceutical biotechnology, but this is my second semester. Okay. So everything for me is just new, and I'm learning everything and kind of curious what next and the career path to take.
Perfect. Perfect. What was the decision to take the medical and pharmaceutical biotechnology?
Well, I've always loved or wanted to work in the pharmaceutical industry. So that was the main reason why I took this course.
Perfect.
So hopefully it's gonna work out.
And now you live in Krems, but have you been in Krems for a longer time or surrounding or?
1 year now in Krems.
1 year now. So when the first semester started.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'll try to find the presentation right now.
Okay.
So this is kind of a workshop, and I was told that people want to know what the alumni are doing. So basically, let's check out the career.
Okay.
So it should start loading. Can you see?
Yep,
the
I saw it.
Which calls workshop. All right. Perfect. So basically, I didn't know how many people would like attend. So how does it work? So you can stay unmute if we are two. Otherwise, I would have asked the people to raise their hand in case if they have any kind of questions, but just let them know. Okay, perfect. So before we go into national, I would like to tell you a little bit about the biotech situation in Austria. Basically, Austria is in the center of Europe. It's a very good thing also for many companies also around Europe. There are a lot of different biotech companies around, and within a very short travel time, you reach very much a lot of different companies out there, right? So this makes it also very attractive for clinical studies, which are a lot of clinical centers also in the eastern part of Europe, and therefore we're having also the good position to get samples from there, also from the clinical part, but also conferences which are held in London, Amsterdam, and so on. So the main cities in Paris and so on, they are quite nicely reachable, and therefore it's a very good position to be in Austria here as well. What does it mean to have a company or looking for opportunities in Austria? These are numbers from the Life Science Austria homepage, Lisa Vienna, where you can see up here the industry. We have currently about 480 companies running, which a total of 23,000 employees, and having a 12.2 billion sales per year, which is a massive amount, and having also a kind of good amount of R&D investment, of course. As you might know, Baxter, Shire, or these companies are moved away from Austria as well. So this was a little bit decreasing the last years. But anyway, it's, I think, a very good R&D investment here. On the academic side, we do have 18 academic institutions, which also holds about 12,500 people and graduating 3,700 people yearly from these academic institutions. And a very good number is also the number of publications which coming out or falling out. It's also 4,600 publications a year. It's quite a nice number, and I think Austria also, if you go on this kind of conferences and so on, always see that's a good position in this field. Also, further advantages in Austria, there are very well supported from the founding point of view. There are also R&D bonuses and tax advantages. Still, a very good thing is this kind of clusters. As you saw, the Lisa Vienna is one cluster. There's a Styria cluster, which is called HTS and so on. So there are some clusters around which gives you or provides you a very dense network on this field, and therefore it's a very good interaction community. And Austria also offers very good conditions, and as you have learned and lived now in Krems for 1 year, you must know what this very good situation is about, right? Anyhow, what biotech needs basically is you. So nothing goes without very well educated people, either in theory or in praxis. We need also innovation, which gives you a very good advantage also in the international point of field, exploitable results, and for some institutions also these patent situations out of the R&D, quite a good IP for the companies to be competitive also on an international way. Also worldwide expenses on education, as you can see here, Austria is quite good, which means we have a very high expenditure on education per student compared to, for example, the OECD mean, which is quite in the middle, of course. My stations, or what I did, was I started after I ended or finished my high school. I directly started working at Biomine as an R&D assistant there for more than 4 years, so 4 years and 4 months. Then after this, I decided, well, the biotechnology is something which I will want to stick with. So I decided to attend also the IMC University, a student for 3 years. Back in the time, we still had this diploma engineer system, and I could also save, because I had very much experience from there. I could save 1 year and directly started in the 3rd semester back then. During the studies, I did my master's, the thesis at the UMCG in the Netherlands. I come to that in a minute, as in the R&D oncology department. And then after that, I started working at Vela Labs. At that time as a senior technician in the quality control, then was promoted to the head laboratory, which I hold this position for more than 8 years. Then I became the chief operating officer, so I was responsible for operation processes there. And then now I made up a new department, which is the business development department, and I became also the managing director, the CEO of the company last year in May. All right, so this would be my stations. Have you any questions up to now?
So far, so good. Everything is clear. No questions now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just that you get a Biomine. I don't know if you heard about this company so far. So this was founded in 1983 in Austria. It's now a global player in animal nutrition, and I don't know if you followed the news on that. This was part of the Erba group, and they are now bought by MSD. So the new facility, which has also a company or a housing in Krems. So therefore, I think it's a quite good company and so on. I was responsible there as a R&D assistant for all kind of fermentation and QC processes there. When I started with this R&D group, we were 5 people. Now they hold more than 100 people in Turin at the research department there. So I was quite early and one of the first R&D assistants or anyway R&D people there. And it was quite really exciting to be one of this part, right? And one of the product which I started to develop there was the CX. It's a chicken feed additive. Right? Later on, I attended the Fachhochschule, and you will have a lot of fun there, to be I'm pretty sure about this. So, of course, working in the lab, visiting cities, go to fairs and so on, studying together, doing sport together and stuff, but also having one or the other beer after the exams are done and so on. So it was quite a nice time there. And we are still quite good connected. So this guy here, I don't know if you follow this as well, is the will keep getting the Alumni Award this year, Christoph Hofbauer. He's now working for Takeda in Boston. And we are still very good friends. And this guy, Jürgen, for example, is currently working for Roche in Basel. And I visited him this weekend, so it was quite nice. And this guy worked for Takeda a very long time, for Nycomed and so on, and is now working for Mono Sigma in Austria. And all the other girls as well. So she's from Germany. She's also working for Roche right now. She's done a PhD and so on. So we are very nice connected to all these things. So it was quite a good time and still have a good network out there. During the time, I did my practical training semester in Groningen, which is in the Netherlands. I was there. The medical center there is one of the largest hospitals in the Netherlands, which holds, and you really feel it there. It's like a city in the city. So they hold 3,400 students there, which are trained, in total 18,000 employees, and of course a lot of beds and stuff like this. So and they have a good framework on scientific research and education. It was quite nice there. And my project back then was a new cancer treatment, which, for example, had a trail. So this was this apoptosis-inducing ligand, and together with bortezomib, which is a proteasome inhibitor, we checked the increase of the apoptotic effect. Apoptotic effect means the programmed cell death of cancer cells, and this was quite a very interesting project there. Also, there was a chapter in a book in the Netherlands, which took over my chapter there. So it was quite interesting. Of course, as you do the practical training semester out there, you have a lot of fun. You meet a lot of different people. This was the oncology department. Of course, you do Western blots more and more often. I couldn't see them anymore, but also after work, she was my supervisor, so Jeanette, and we always had time for a beer after work and so on. So this was always really, really nice. And also the students' houses there. We had always once a week a so-called international dinner. People were coming together and cook their favorite dishes from home and so on. So it was really kind of a very nice time there as well. After that, I switched the green biotechnology from Biomine to the red biotechnology at Vela Labs. So basically, the company was founded in 2006. I joined in 2007 or even 8. 2008. Yeah, since then, a lot of things happened. I started, or when I started with this job, we were about 8 people. Now we are a company with close to 60 people. We have clients all over the world, from little Taiwan here, back over India, China, some Russian clients, also Brazilian clients, and Canada and North America. So the whole world, basically, our clients are coming from. And I'm part of this managing board. So since January, I'm also the CEO of the whole company, and I'm more or less responsible for the business development and project management part. So when the customers come to us and want to have some new projects and having the products, Albert Laus is being in the operations part, and Klaus is responsible for the whole quality. We are located in Vienna in the 23rd district, and this is the building which we are. We are offering all kind of different analytics, GMP, GCLP, consulting, and so on. So a lot of everything which is necessary to bring a product on the market, basically. We are part of Tantamus. Tantamus is our mother company. This is a global network of specialized laboratories. These are all labs. So the labs from us are also distributed all over the world, not only the clients. And we have in total 60 laboratories worldwide. We are one of them. There are 2,500 people out there, and we are belonging, we're working in different industries, and we're belonging to the medical and pharmaceutical, which is only 15 labs out of the 60 in total, right? So most of them are working in this food and feed industry and cosmetic and care and so on. So this needs also be tested. What is Vela doing? Quite a very broad portfolio, from flow cytometry over bioassays, all kind of protein characterization, ELISA, biocore testing, and so on. So I don't want to go into detail, but what we offer is a really almost a one-stop shop for biopharmaceutical products like monoclonal antibodies and hormones, and need to have a lot of technical equipment to fulfill these things. What I have learned, or the way to success for small and medium enterprises, I don't know if you're so interested in this part, but I really go quickly through it. Of course, you need to have some kind of a business model in the beginning, then develop this whole thing until it ends up in a strategy, which hopefully leads to the success you had in the beginning. And this business model consists some kind of a science part, what do you want to do, what kind of platform you want to offer, what is your innovation part on that, and so on. Then what's your intellectual property, your IP, what do you want to bring in, what is your unique selling point, and at the end, the management team. Nothing goes without a perfect team, so this overcomes most of knowledging things, you know. So good marks in transcripts are it's good, but the most of it is the personality you have. So you need to have some kind of a management team which is really good, has a good leadership skills. Help the people to explore themselves and so on, and give also the organization a development, right? Never stop, just keep running and try to be always on the edge. And then, of course, depending on your setting, you can install some kind of a board, either advisory board, scientific board, financial board, or something like this, just to get clear also on focusing your goals. And then if you have all things together, you start to develop your business, meaning you need to have some kind of infrastructure, equipment, rooms, and so on, people. Then you have to take care of your quality system, especially if you deal with pharmaceutical products. Then you have to define your strategy, and some kind of a regulatory part must be also installed and developed, just that you have a reputation and so on. And this leads to your strategy which you need to follow and hopefully leads to success of the whole thing. There are some challenges, and of course there are challenges, there are always opportunities as well, and I tried to give you some hints right now, at least for my business or our project-based service of analytics. Of course, challenge is always to find new customers, right? As I said, we're having a worldwide acting client base, but you always need to find new customers to keep your projects running, see if you are competitive and so on. But if you have this challenge, of course, it comes that you can install new customers, right? So whatever is a challenge can turn into opportunity. And if you go out and take a look where you can find your customers, of course you find your customers as well and can install it. A challenge is also, especially for the small medium enterprises, how fast do you do expansion of your company and investments on equipment, on latest technologies and so on. This really costs a lot of money, especially in our field, but this is also quite a challenge. But as soon as you decide on something, like Vela Labs started quite early with this surface plasmon resonance technology. You have one also at the IMC now from Reichert. This is a molecular interaction binding model, right? So you can always check that. And we had the first generation at Vela Labs at the time back there. And now we have a really good reputation out there, and people from all over the world come to us and want to test these things. Although other companies in the world also have this kind of technology, but we have a very good reputation out there. And of course, this overcomes some kind of challenges as well in this part. You always need to have the latest guidelines in mind, like from the EMA or FDA or something like this. You always have to be up to date. On the positive side, in the pharmaceutical industry, these guidelines grow very slow, let's call it this way. So therefore, it's not that high throughput rate, but it's always nice to, it's always important to be on the part. Sometimes you need to have consultants which tells you which guidelines are the more necessary, but this can also be then an opportunity. If you get in touch with this kind of consultants, they can bring you new customers. They are involved in other requests. If you have a very good communication to these consultants, they can bring you also additional jobs and offers and so on. So this is really nice thing. Then, of course, one of the biggest challenges, especially if you're a small one, is that your competitors also offer the same services sometimes. But to turn this one into opportunity is just find strategic partners, right? Just find someone who helps you to carry out things, which means a project which needs a variety of different methods and you cannot cover everything. Just find someone who helps you out there, just instead of investing in this new technology, and be better than the competitors, right? And therefore you can turn this challenge into some kind of opportunity. And with these strategic partners, this was done also quite early in the Vela Labs business, was that we still getting a lot of different and new either customers or projects, because we have this good strategic partnership, right? So this is always a give and take. So basically now your things start. I will give you some kind of a platform of your questions. So please open your mic and ask me things.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. I must say it was awesome. And I wanted to find out, to ask if there are openings for internship if, for example, because you mentioned in your presentation that in the pharmaceutical and medical, we have like 15 labs. And then my question is, I don't know if there's a possibility if I can do internship at your company, let's say next year or so, to have a better understanding of how things are being done or carried out.
Yeah. So basically, I left this slide out because we do have a lot of IMC students in our facility, especially in the very early beginning. There are still some in our company, like Rainer and so on. So basically, yes, we offer internships. We did also a lot of different master theses. Now you don't remember her. Veronica was the last one. She was there, I think 2 years ago or something. She made a comparison of different bioassays and compared reporter gene assays from different vendors, and this was really a very nice and important project for us. And so therefore, yes, as soon as we can define a project and as soon as we have some budget assigned to it, it's always welcome to have internships. Yes.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
And
the most important part is to bring a very good attitude, to willingness to learn, of course, to get your things correctly done, accurately done, because in our field, or especially what you have to learn in these pharmaceutical industries, you're always dealing with drugs for sick people, right? So you always have to be this in mind, that the quality of your experiments directly help people which suffer from any diseases, right? And therefore it's always important that you know what you're doing, be eager to learn about the things, and therefore then if you have these skills and if these ambitions, you're always welcome, and for sure you find always jobs out there as well.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. That's really good to know.
Yeah, so work hard on yourself. Try always to be very good in your job, and always be open and willing to learn new things. That's the best thing you can learn. It's not always about get a 1 or an A grade on some things. It's always if you understood it, right? And I had a colleague, for example, he never learned for any exam. It was very, very interesting. He said, even if I understood it, or only if I understood it correctly during the training, I will survive any kind of exam, right? And he really didn't get the best marks. He really was always 3 or 4 or something like this. But at the end, he remembered much more than people who had very good marks, and this was really a funny story out there. So take part at the courses, ask questions and so on, and therefore I think you can learn so much things. And always ask yourself, would I recover the things also without additional learning? So this is always quite a nice question which you can ask yourself.
Okay. Wow. That's good to know. I really appreciate, and I'm really interested. It really sounds interesting, and I can't wait to, if I have the opportunity to do internship the next year, to apply. And
let's see if everything works. And always think about this networking. It's here in the middle, right? You can so much. So you can't do everything by your own. It's simply not possible, right? And
that's right.
If you have a very good network, so this means also, and this is very, I don't know how to say it without being mean or something, but always try to go on parties as well. You know what I mean? So this is not only just to sit there and work hard on your tests and exams and stuff like this. Sometimes it's very good to get the mind open, talk to people out there, and people which you had very nice beers together will remember you much more than having you in the course and having good marks.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So is there any link in which maybe to reach out to the company if I want to apply for an internship, for example?
Yeah, just a second. I saw another person in this call. So do you have any questions? You joined a little bit late, but do you have any questions right now? I hope I pronounced your name correctly, but Alvin? Obviously not, just listening. Okay, perfect. So I tried to use this chat function right now. I don't know if this works right now or not. No, I don't have any. Okay, perfect. Can you see my chat function? Do you know how this works? So
she just wrote, no, I don't have
exactly. Labs.at. So basically this would be our address for our H&R department, basically jobs@vela-labs.at. But also if you do www.vela-labs.at, you will find our homepage, which is currently in revision. So later this year we will have a new homepage as well. So at least the more reflected ones. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That's it.